guys, so today we're going to actually talk about a lesson a little bit with a read aloud, okay? So last week we talked about a character and when it faces a problem. We looked at that story mountain. As that character goes up and faces that big problem, he comes to that climax of the story. This week we're going to talk about what happens once that problem has been resolved, and does that story have a theme that goes with it? Is the author trying to tell you something? So I'm going to read aloud Pigsty, one of my favorites by Mark Teague. I have such a connection to this story because my mom used to say when I was little, your room is such a pigsty. So I'm going to read this to you really quickly by Mark Teague. Scholastic is giving us permission to read these stories, and then we'll talk about my poster back here. See if you can think about what is the author trying to tell us here in this story. Okay, here we go. Monday afternoon, Wendell Fultz's mother told him to clean his room. It's turning into a pigsty, she said. Wendell went upstairs. Much to his surprise, a large pig was sitting on his bed. Pardon me, said Wendell. He shoved some toys into his closet, but the pig didn't seem to mind the mess, and Wendell found that he didn't mind the pig either. So he decided to take a break. When Wendell's mother came to look at his room, the pig was hiding, but the mess was still there. She threw up her hands. Okay, Wendell, she said, if you want to live in a pigsty, that's up to you. Wendell could hardly believe his luck. Now I can live however I want. He didn't even worry when he came home on Tuesday and found a second pig in his room. The mess had grown a bit worse, but he was able to jam most of it under his bed. Pigs are all right, he said, as long as it's only one or two. In fact, they had a wonderful time. They played Monopoly until late each night and left the pieces lying all over the floor. They had paper airplane wars and pillow fights. The bed became a trampoline. Then 2 more pigs showed up. The mess just grew and grew. That night when Wendell went to bed, the pigs were lying everywhere. They rolled up in his blankets and hogged his pillows too. Wendell told himself he didn't mind, but then he found hoof prints on his comic books. And Friday, when he got home from school, he saw that someone had been sitting on his basketball. And his baseball cards were chewed. That does it, said Wendell. I've had enough. He ran downstairs to tell his mother. Sorry, she said, but your room is your responsibility. She handed him a broom. Wendell started to complain. The mess was too huge. But suddenly he remembered a saying he'd heard, that many hooves make light work. He marched upstairs and organized a cleaning crew. They swept and scoured, polished and scrubbed. Later that afternoon, Wendell inspected his room and pronounced it clean. In fact, it was a bit too clean from a pig's point of view, so while Wendell inspected, the pigs prepared to go home. One of them made a phone call and a farm truck came to pick them up. They hugged and grunted and oinked goodbye. From that day on, Wendell kept his room clean. Except for those nights when his friends came by to play Monopoly. All right, so looking at our theme poster here, the theme is the lesson or the message, the moral, or that central idea that the author wants you to learn. Mark Teague is trying to get you to learn something from this book. That heart of the story, it's usually unsaid, but you can infer from it. He's not going to start off his story by saying, okay, the lesson I want you to learn today is this. It's going to be inferred in there somewhere, okay? There's some common themes: love, teamwork, hope, kindness, courage, family, honesty, respect, being yourself. There's a lot of common themes in books. And then we have questions that we always want to ask ourselves. What did the character learn? Do you think Wendell learned something in this story? I do. I think he learned that he should keep his room clean. How did he change? Well, at the beginning, he didn't care. He didn't mind that mess, did he? And then at the end, he realized that's not a good way to live, and things were getting ruined, and he wasn't happy about it. So he changed. What message is that author trying to tell you? Maybe it was about responsibility, being responsible, taking care of your things. Think about it. What do you think the author was trying to tell us here in this message? I hope you enjoyed our story today. See you soon. Bye.